Hello, and welcome to the Gaia update for the second full moon in Aquarius of 2021. This full moon happens on Sunday, August 22nd in most of the world, and it is conjunct Jupiter at the very end of Aquarius. So what a powerful story. This year started off with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction at the end of last year, moving over into the sign of Aquarius together. Jupiter and Saturn, generational change markers. And so here we have a message of moving over into the Aquarian age. Then Jupiter moves through Aquarius and has taken a retrograde and retrograded back into Pisces, meaning that took Jupiter over that Aquarius Pisces cusp 3 different times, or 2 so far. The third time, now Jupiter turned retrograde on June 20th, and so right there at the solstice. Retrograde from that early degrees, 2 degrees of Pisces, back into Aquarius for the second passing over that Pisces Aquarius cusp. Now Jupiter will turn direct in October 18th, but won't make it back to those end degrees of Aquarius, culmination of this Jupiter and Aquarius year 2021, our transition into the Age of Aquarius. That happens at the very end of December 24th through 28th, Jupiter will be returning to these degrees. So right now, Jupiter is very close to the end degrees of Aquarius, where the where the moon will be for this full moon. And the sun across the way in the end degrees of Leo. Very powerful energy here, because the end degrees are a culmination energy of the sign. And so this second full moon in Aquarius, Jupiter going over this point 3 times, so many messages about 2021 being a transition into the Age of Aquarius, especially with that Saturn square Uranus all year long. The third hit of Saturn square Uranus is in December as well. So, wow, what a journey. And here we are at this second full moon, moving into the second part, getting into the second part, well into the second part of the year. And what's going on here? Very powerful messages, because Jupiter is about expanding. It's about new ideas. It's about the horizon. It's about growth and luck and movement. And so wherever Jupiter is, it's about bringing more. It amplifies like a crystal. So Jupiter at the end degrees of Aquarius, this bloom of Aquarian energy, because this is what happens at the cusps of the sign, is that there's a bloom of the one that's finishing, kind of that culmination energy, that last push, and then switching over into an excitement, a bloom into the next sign. And so that's kind of where we've been at in this shift of ages, right in between, This bloom of the Piscean age and excitement. Maybe it's out there somewhere, this whole thing where, who knows, right? But let's look at what's going on here for this full moon. Conjunct Jupiter saying it's time to expand into this new energy. And the rest of the year will be all about that. Completing this expansion into the new. Now, what we have is Mercury and Mars together in Virgo. Very powerful, because Mercury at home in Virgo, having caught up to Mars, and there they are together. And not just together, these powerhouse energies around Mercury at home in Virgo is about the analytical mind, the power of the mind, and our conception. Then Mars is our action planet, the male planet. So when you put Mercury and Mars together, it's about moving forward with the the skillful warrior, the intellectually skilled warrior, right? And so this art of war energy. And then they're in trine to Uranus in Taurus. Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius. So very much speaking to what the changes need to be to move into this new energy. And so Uranus in Taurus is about a revolution of wealth, a change, a complete change, a sudden change in our relationship to what we value. Okay, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules our self-worth, but also what's really beautiful and comforting, and what we love, what makes us feel good. And so Taurus rules what we need to feel good, and it's about financial resources, right? And a traditional astrology says it's about wealth. But this Uranus and Taurus is about what is wealth really? What really matters? You know? Because it's like chase down those riches and accumulate all those items, but what do you really have at the end of the day? Say if you don't have someone to share it with, or a loving family or connection or community to experience the bounty and abundance. So there you have it. And so, of course, we've all gotten so far away, humanity, from our connection to true abundance and true value and what really matters. But still that's within all of us, right? You know, humanity, true humans, a human soul in a body, we all really want the same thing. We want to feel good. We want to have what we need. We want to love and get together and celebrate our existence. We want to express ourselves. And that's the energy of the Leo sun here. You know, the Leo Aquarius full moon is a Leo sun at the end degrees of Leo. And it's like humanity, this is the key. This whole alchemical shift we're trying to make into the Age of Aquarius, we've got to have the expression of the God self come forward individually. And these leaders to take the stage, and the empowerment of, those souls that have been preparing for lifetimes and evolutions for this moment. So here we go, supernova souls. Big changes are happening in our physical bodies and our energetic fields. It's a really important time to rest and take care of yourself and support the detox and DNA revolution that's happening. And so when we got the Mercury and Mars in this revolution, this mastermind energy in a harmonious trine with the revolution of wealth, right? Now, there's an energy of whenever Mercury's really activated, there's an opportunity to think our way, use our mind out of the matrix, out of the programming, to escape from mind control. And definitely this energy, because Uranus is so interesting because it rules technology. It rules future technology and technology, ancient wisdom and technology that's been suppressed and hidden. It's like separate and out there from us. And so this mastermind is energy is saying we can use our mind to get out of the mind control when we have that revolution of wealth. And that revolution of wealth for the supernova soul, it's unlocking your intuitive gifts and skills, your wealth, your spiritual wealth. And there's a very powerful truth coming forward here in these times of like being aware of the forces that have worked against you as one that is dedicated and devoted to truth and light. Now, the only reason they can work against you and the only reason they would want to work against you is because they know who you are. Now, but in order for that to happen, they need to make sure that you don't know who you are. See? The only way that we supernova souls have gotten trapped in our quarantine is because we forgot who we are. We decided to forget, or we agreed. Maybe we got mind wiped. But basically, that's the only thing that holds power over us, is us not, or keeps power, keeps that structure of power, outside power and control, is us not knowing our power. And there's these forces have gone to quite an extensive agenda to make sure we don't know. So there must be a lot of power. The power is in the knowing of who we are, And that's exactly this beautiful trine that's happening, using our intellectual mind to get out of the mind control and come back into our higher mind. Uranus rules that higher mind. And when Uranus and Mercury interact, there's great opportunities for clarity, direction, guidance. And so, really powerful time for you, supernova soul, to kind of get harmonized in these changes and allow this bigger self to land home and incarnate. Now, we also have, leading up to this full moon, is Venus is in trine to Black Moon Lilith, a very sweet energy, harmonizing another earth trine. An air trine, excuse me. We've got 2 air trines as well as that earth trine we just talked about. But so Venus, the feminine, in her home sign of Libra, she just loves it there. She's just so comfortable, and it's helping her to feel safe in expressing her voice again, clearing up the shadow, of the distortions of the story of the feminine as associated with darkness and dark things. And so really, really beautiful that coming, the feminine coming back, claiming her place in the garden, claiming her purity and the expression of her beautiful energies, which have to do with abundance and ever-giving life. The feminine is about regeneration. And so then we have another air trine with Saturn just 1 degree out of trine with the North Node in Gemini. And the North Node is about how are we going to get to where we're going? Definitely has to do with communication, truth, and expression. And Saturn is how are we building in this energy of Aquarius. And so it's like, here you go. Here, it's a new vibration. It's a new vibration. The physical, our relationship to changing is physical. Our relationship to the physical is changing, but because the vibration changes, which is exactly the whole mystery of life force and vital force, and how first the organism is, say in healing, the organism is brought in, say homeopathy, organism reordered into that vibrational resonance, and then the symptoms shift and change. So we have received the remedy, and now we're in the healing crisis. But this 2021 has been square after square after square, and now we're not feeling any squares. The only opposition energy, which is always there, is between, which is really interesting because the full and new moon are opposite each other, and then the North Node, South Node, of course, always opposite each other. So when that's the only energy of tension. It's very interesting because it's speaking to turning the wheel and turning the dial into the future, pointing in a new direction. So here we are, and it's being harmonized for us with those 2 earth, that big earth trine, 2 air trines, and then we have this beautiful backdrop of Neptune sextile Pluto. Pluto in Capricorn, sextile Neptune, dreaming a new dream with a whole different set of authority structures. And again, it speaks to getting out of the authority traps, which is also the mind control programming, lower matrix. So it's like, here it is. Here's your way out. You got to dream it. You got to vision it. You got to claim your autonomy. You got to know who you are. And so that backdrop of the sextile brings in the water element with Neptune and Pisces, and saying that we dream our way out of it. And now after the full moon, we'll be starting to feel Mercury will move on to trine up with first Neptune, then Pluto. And that will be, so this harmonization continues. And the Mastermind is checking in with that scenario. And Mars will go on to do that as well. So we're in a different phase right now. And it's like massive shifting. We're on the edge. We're about to turn the corner into the Aquarian age. And all the planets and elements are working together. They're all involved, but they're all involved harmoniously. Okay? So the energy is like, we can do it, anything. If we're together, we can do anything. And we can do this. So hold hands. Let's do this. Keep breathing. Keep living. Keep visioning. Keep loving. Keep showing up in that truth. And receive these higher vibrational frequencies into your cells on a cellular level, awakening that God code, bringing you back into who you are. The power of you remembering who you are is your power, apparently. And so we'll see how this unfolds. So I hope you'll consider joining me for a full moon activation for the second Aquarius full moon. And that is going to be Saturday, August 21st at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And if it doesn't work in your time zone, know that we're working outside of time. We're working in the quantum field. It's a guided meditation, and you can catch that replay as soon as you can, and you'll be right there with us, present in the energy. This happens a little over 12 hours before the actual full moon, and so we'll be able to set an energy field and a vibration, and then as everyone gets a chance to be a part of the activation as we lead into the exact time of the full moon and celebrate this tipping of the scales over into the Aquarian age. And here you are right there, putting on your full armor of light and bravely going to the front of the line and claiming back your true and full power of existence by knowing and remembering who you are. So I hope you can consider joining the activation or the replay Saturday the 21st, 4 p.m. Mountain Time in the U.S. Look forward to seeing you there. And on the next update, hang in there. Supernova Souls, we got this. We're doing it. And so I look forward to seeing you soon at that activation or the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.